Welcome back, everybody. Um, Before we kick it off, I just want to announce for those of you that don't follow me over on Blue Sky or saw my post in like the D&D Discord and stuff, I have made a sideboard guide available to all Twitch subs for Red, White, Death, and Taxes, the list that I've been playing and enjoying a lot. Made a new updated sideboard guide for the current meta for the list that I had been playing. It is on FlexSlot, flexslot.gg slash or flexslot.gg/u/xjcloud. The little link down there, or you can type exclamation point SB guide in the chat to get a link over to it. I'm also considering making one, kind of segueing into what we're doing tonight. Considering making one for Black White Overlord Death and Taxes as well, so please let me know via some way, shape, or form if you're interested in seeing that as well. So we are. I mentioned kind of offhand last week. I was like, maybe I'll play like some Overlord D&T next week or something to kind of mix it up a little bit. And then Yoshiwada went and won another Legacy Challenge. He's been on just like a sick tear in this meta with pretty like stock Black White Overlord Death and Taxes. So I was like, all right, we'll just yoink Yoshiwada's list and we'll play it. The list that I would build a sideboard guide for would probably be a slightly different take than this. We'll get into that as we talk about some of the stuff here. So I agree with a lot of this. I think you can kind of take or leave this White Orchid Phantom. I think this is kind of a remnant for. I know Yoshiwada was like a much more of a fan of this card than I was in like previous metas when Blue Black Reanimator was more around. And I just thought this card was so unplayable. I would probably just like play more Thalias in this slot. Other than that, I like the main deck. I really think that his plan is just to like never ever actually play against Oops All spells, and I kind of get that, but at the same time, it is like one of the most popular decks right now. If you're looking at MTG Goldfish results aren't exactly like 1-to-1, but if you're looking at MTG Goldfish, which is one of the better approximations of the meta that we can find, given the data points that we have, Oops All Spells is literally the most played deck in Legacy right now. So I think it's kind of not the best to ignore that matchup. Like, your Cages and Fairy Macabres and Deafening Silences, they're just not nearly as good as your Leylines are going to be, but I do get that Leylines are really not where you want to be in so many other matchups, and if you'd rather be on Cages and Fairy Macabres versus like the Reanimator decks and stuff like that, just more ubiquitous cards. They feel a lot less miserable, but I just don't think you're really allowed to like toss your Oops All Spells matchup in the trash can. I was looking at a conversation that he was having with another Japanese Death Taxes player, Shiro Muni, for those who recognize that name. Playing a very similar list, but he's a little bit higher on White Orchid Phantom and Leyline of the Void in the sideboard. That all being said, I think this deck list is really good. I think like Felio Overlord is a very reasonable place to be. I really enjoy like the play patterns of this deck. Felio Overlord is just like really busted when you get to do the thing. So we're just gonna like fire off with his exact 95 into a league. I'm not gonna do that thing where I'm like, we'll jam 4 Leylights in the sideboard because I think it's right. We're just gonna we'll play his list, and if we get destroyed by Oops, it is what it is. We're just gotta get in a feel of how he wants the deck list to be. And who knows? In a month, maybe we won't have to think so hard about the Oops All Spells problem. You know. I forget when the next BNR is. It's like probably like the very end of June, so I guess a little bit more than a month at this point. It's looking not the best. I don't want to be the one that like calls for bans too aggressively, but like they literally shouted out in the previous BNR. They're like, we're looking at Oops All Spells. We've got our eye on it, and then right after that, it's immediately the most popular deck of the format. I feel like feel like something might happen. Would be nice, huh? Yeah. All right. Well, we'll fire. We'll sign up for the prelim. The prelim just is never firing this early into a season. I don't even know when the first Legacy Showcase Challenge is. I think it's gonna be in a couple of weeks, sometime in June. There's no shot I have enough QPs. How many QPs do I have? Like 12? 13. God, I gotta, like, actually play some prelims, huh? Or some challenges or something. Maybe we'll do, like, a weekend challenge stream when I'm not busy. But we'll just jam a league for now. I'm also very excited to, like, test out... Like, there haven't been any other Final Fantasy cards that have really been intriguing for me in Legacy. There were a couple, like, close ones. God, literally, like, an hour ago or something, they spoiled... What is it? It's Lionheart or something? Man, I'm mad about that one. It was so close. It's, like, 4-drop equipment that shocks on ETB. And then, like, equip 2, give +2/+1, and then no other text. It's like, if this thing just cast Lightning Bolt, would that be too good? Shock just doesn't fucking kill anything, man. 4-mana Lightning Bolt is so rough, but I would have, like, thought about it in a Mono White list. Mono White really wants a removal equipment. Thinking control with police oops makes me feel like they're not... Is that what they said in the article? I don't remember. I know they wanted to, like, kind of bring control back, and, like, they're making, like, pretty heavy meta adjustments, and they didn't want to, like, overcorrect, right? With the bans that they made. So I do kind of get it. I wish they had just kind of taken out the trash. And just kind of killed it. But I understand banning 2 things and not wanting to also ban a 3rd thing because they're not 100% sure of the ramifications of the meta. And it's not like Oops has made this format unplayable. It's made it not nearly as enjoyable, certainly. Oops being as popular as it is isn't a great thing, but I think this meta has been much more enjoyable at large, mostly because of the non-Oops decks. There's been a lot more, like, Tempo's been back in a pretty big way. We have seen more control decks, Beans decks coming back, whether it's, like, 4-color, Leyline Binding, whatever Beans, or, like, the Bug Beans with Rakshas's Bargain. Is Taxes the best control deck in Legacy? I mean, I'm biased, so I wouldn't ask me. But I think it's one of the best performing control decks in Legacy right now. I mean, it's like one of the only control decks in Legacy, so I guess that one of the best isn't exactly a great check. Force My Thoughtseize Pitch Flusterstorms. Probably like Sneak and Show then? I'm biased too. I told you. Yes, D&T is the... I don't know what the stats are, but D&T is, like, performing really well. It's mostly Yoshiwada, you know, carrying everything on his back, but I do think D&T has been performing remarkably well. Ooh. Although they put a card on top. I'm, like, tempted to White Orchid Phantom this, but it's, like, not that good. But, I mean... We don't always get to White Orchid Phantom. I mean... White Orchid Phantom just isn't good against Sneak and Show. I'm just going to turn this Thundering Falls into an island. But, like, I could shuffle away the 2nd land, which would be pretty sick, huh? Develops a 2/2 rather than, like, Wasteland and doing nothing? I do want to play my 2/2 and shuffle away their card. I don't necessarily need to Wasteland this exactly this turn. Although there's a chance that I turn this into a basic and then they, like, play another basic and I don't get to Wasteland anything, which does kind of suck. And they miss on lands. Completely brick. Oh, that's... Oh, never mind. Wild swings left and right here. Bro! Are we just dead? We're just getting sneak attack. Oh, shit, hang on. Turn off auto yield so we get an Emrakul or a Traxid. Please be Emrakul. God damn it. I guess this is why they forced the Thoughtseize, huh? There's so many Lotus Petals. I really don't understand why people keep putting this card in their decks. I don't see it commonly in Sneak and Show. It just, like, never makes any sense to me. What do they have? Emrakul, Sneak Attack, Lotus Petal Mountain, Stock Up. Well, they have Stock Up, so we're probably dead, but... What is it? Mountain, Stock Up, or the other Sneak Attack? So they're at like 8 billion life. And we have nothing. Just a casual 39. Drifter is good with Limduel's Vault? Sure. That's probably correct. It's good with cards that put cards on the top of your library. Alright, well, we wasteland that. Oh, shit, that's good. Kill that. Go get it. Cauldra. Try to fucking deal 39 damage to my opponent. Oh god, really? Couldn't give me like one turn. There's an Atrax at the bottom of their deck too. Are we just like dead? They just hit a bunch of cantrips, right? What are they getting? Brainstorm stuff, like they Ancient Tomb 2 stock ups. Sorry, yeah, we're like 90% dead because we're just like cold to the Emrakul now. Their end is what? Ancient Tomb, a second stock up. That's it. They could have brainstormed some of this stuff away, but. What do we got? That doesn't seem very good. Feels like we're not long for this world, but, you know. They're gonna cast Stock Up with a red mana up, which I don't love. But, I mean, there's this... They haven't shuffled yet. There's an Atrax at the bottom of the deck. They're down in Emrakul. We can't wasteland this, but we can wasteland the Ancient Tomb to try to prevent more stock ups. Does prevent us from casting Yorion a turn ahead of schedule, but wastelanding seems pretty good here. Wait. Oh, they're gonna get me? Wait. Huh? They put it in on my second main? I guess. That was a fast stock up. We're just dead, yeah. Not Solitude. Well, we put up a good fight. That was a pretty rough one, though, huh? The immediate Atraxa was pretty gnarly. But I mean, we had a mountain to climb. Get this fucking White Orchid Phantom out of my deck. Imagine if this White Orchid Phantom was a Thalia that game, huh? I think this White Orchid Phantom's like kind of bait. I think like he wants it in the deck for like Recruiter Bullet, but I feel like you almost there's like almost no matchups where you're recruiting White Orchid Phantom. It's like exactly lands or some situations versus Urza's Saga. What else do we cut here? Sash. And yeah, versus Cloud Post, sure, yeah. Cloud Post, lands, sometimes versus Saga decks. Probably just shave like a Felia or an Overlord. I think Overlord's good because it digs for like Witch Enchanter. I think we just shave a Felia here. I don't even think Deafening Silence and Mindbreaker are that good against Sneak and Show, but they're probably better than those cards. They're good enough to keep this hand off the back of, like... Mindbreaker would have been good in this game 1, but obviously they don't always have that. They often just have, you know, like, Cantrip, Sneak Attack get you. What are we mulliganing for if we mull this hand? Thoughtseize, Flute, Thalia are, like, the actual big ones. That's, like, 8 cards. I think this hand's good enough to keep. Caracas is also notably, like, certainly not nothing. I guess maybe we should have led with Caracas. Maybe they'll, like, cast turn 1 Show and Tell, put in Emrakul, and we'll get them. Come on, second Lotus Petal. Second Lotus Petal. Damn. We'll leave up Felia or Bowmaster. Seems better than playing Stoneforge here. I think we're just gonna like die to turn 2 Show and Tell. Put in Omniscience or some bullshit. No. Cool. Do I play the Felia here? Cast Brainstorm in response. I think we play the Felia here and then get like double Bowmaster them. Moto? Hello? It's weird. I heard the little ding and like it turned on my main phase, but my lands were all tapped still. Now I think we want to just Recruiter of the Guard for Witch Enchanter. Help beat Omniscience. You can also even go get, like, Solitude to help beat, Sneak Attack. Maybe. There's a decent chance, like, this plan just doesn't resolve. They have, you know, a Force or an Abrade or Hardcast Days or whatever. So what do I think they have? What are they sitting on with this start? That they just go, like, turn 1, land, pedal play around Thalia. Makes sense. Sneak Attack makes sense. I think Witch Enchanter is a reasonable enough hedge. We can't answer a Sneak Attack immediately, obviously. So I wonder what my second grab is if I get one. I think the first grab is Witch Enchanter. Hey, Calamity Storm, thanks for the follow. You're gonna, like, Abrade my Felia and I don't get a second search? Makes sense. What is this weird lag? I've not experienced this specific Moto lag where, like, things happen but I can't see them. It's usually just, like, the swirl. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about a Sneak Attack is my main thing. Yeah, like this. But nothing was going to beat this without us getting, like, the Sol. I think I would have grabbed Solitude on the follow-up. Are we just going to get Emrakul here and die? Yeah. I really don't feel like playing this one out. We can play it out for the 1%er, but I'm just content to move on. I had an inkling that it was probably sneak attack rather than like show and tell omniscience. And like maybe you're supposed to get solitude with the first one, but then we like assuming that they have an answer to our Felia, then we just like are stone cold to the sneak. We can't take the sneak attack off the board. But it felt very much like they were going to go interaction piece into sneak attack turn. And obviously Solitude's like not good if they just put it in a Traxa there too. So I don't think grabbing Solitude first there is wise. I might have grabbed Solitude second if the Felia got to attack, or I might have like grabbed Containment Priest and hoped they didn't have like exactly Soul Land. Could have like maybe not played a Recruiter to play around that. But then we're just further away from answering the sneak attack, right? Even if we hold up Caracas to like stop a single sneak attack activation, we're just giving them more time where we don't have an answer to a sneak attack in our hand. We eventually have to like tap out for this Recruiter of the Guard. Or like find fourth land, play Recruiter of the Guard, hold up Caracas again, and hope that they don't have like red. Sand's a little loose. We're on the draw. Seems decent. Any land turns on the most of our hand. Black land makes our hand much better. Hello, Matman. Please. Please be a normal Once Upon a Time deck. Oh, thank God. Not just like Once Upon a Time, find Balustrade Spy. This is just like Cradle or Maverick or something. Well, my hand's not very equipped to kill things. It'd be really nice to rip a black land next turn. We could like Bowmaster the Noble into Skyclaves and Recruiters and stuff. We did at least hit third land of some kind, so we can cast Skyclave on curve to try to kill something. You know a little about D&T, but I would assume Cradle, yeah, but good to keep your mind open. Could be like Maverick or some weird other list. Oh, this is fine. Yeah, this looks like a more recent Newton deck where he like cut the Cubs for Keen-Eyed Curators, just like steadily making his deck worse and worse against D&T. Love that for me. Love this Prismatic Vista for me as well, because it means I can just kill the shit out of this Noble Hierarch. Start choking the mana a little bit. We have Skyclave for Keen-Eyed Curator. This Collector Roof's just a 2/2. They have, what, instant creature lands. This thing's not 7/7ing me yet, but even if it was, we take a hit and then Skyclave it. They spend, like, all their mana. Yeah, this lag is weird. I don't know what the lag is today. I've never seen this before. Where, like, you just get frozen in time for a second. They had white into Noble, attack for 4. Next turn is going to be Skyclave the white. I'm wondering if I'm supposed to chump block before this thing gets trampled. Can they, like, realistically give it trample? Like, nothing's... Unless I put a... I don't have any sorceries. Unless I put an artifact in the graveyard. There's, like, almost no way this thing ever gets trample, right? It's just lands, creatures, and instants. I could, like, block with the... Orcish Bowmaster set up a Formal War at some point, but I don't think that time's right now, because I definitely want to answer this white next turn. I think I'm just going to let this through. Skyclave this white. Gimme. We can aggressively try to like trade off by blocking with the Skyclave and then Formal back the Skyclave. Like if they attack with 4/4, I might just dump everything in front of it. Oh, that's scary. This looks like Green Sun Zenith. Yeah. For another white. Yeah, Sylvan Safekeeper's the way you kind of get hosed in this matchup. I do have the ability to start hunting my opponent's lands pretty aggressively, huh? I think I'm just going to block with Bowmaster here. 4 more back the Bowmaster to target the Safekeeper to pop one of the lands. Although, no, because this white's going to get online now. Unless I top deck like Solitude or Source of Plowshares and blow up all their lands. Is there anything better I can do here? I might just be getting got by this Safekeeper. Getting fed by like Cradle plus white. Well, we'll just have to see where it goes. I think the best turn for me is going to be just... I guess that would have been a reason to block last turn, is setting up like block with Bowmaster. I get to renew another blocker rather than making it 2/2. I could outright kill this, but I don't care about it at all. I don't really want to give them a 2/2. Oh, this thing just gets eaten. Fuck. The Form Warp blind's really bad. Because they have mana for Curator. Whoopsie. Now we have to like Skyclave for Solitude. And this thing's just gonna get online and completely hose me. At least I realized this before I just cast 4 more into it and horribly lost the game. So how do we win from here? It's not looking great. I think the answer is we don't, but... yeah, we would need like Overlord online or something for repeated Solitudes. Curator's already stopping that. It's our 4 mana turn. We could get Stone Forge, doesn't do enough, or really anything. I mean, we could get Stoneforge for like Cauldra to start trying to like block on turns that they can't just take it out with white. Is it even worth it to get Solitude when I just can't? It just kills this Bayou and they just have a bajillion green mana anyway. It might just be Stoneforge time. I think I'm gonna Surveil. I think this Sylvan Savior is just gonna like murder me. What do we lose to? Sneak and Show. Another Green Sun. We are Felia game time. Okay, I was kind of hoping this is good information for game 2, definitely, because some of Newton's lists like don't play Natural Order. I think maybe not Newton's list, but like the LO1 lists that were floating around. So I'm not sure. I wasn't sure if Newton's like Keen-Eyed Curator lists were still playing NO. This also makes Keen-Eyed Curator a 7/7 because he does have sorceries now. I think we can just pretty safely concede here. No Craterhoof, notably, because Craterhoof just, like, absolutely kills me here, but this does seem like a cut and paste Newton list with, like, just NO for Atraxa. He cut Hoof a while ago. But we can just safely move on. Get all these in my deck. Wow. Sideboard has a ton of stuff for this matchup. Get these out of here. You, like, kind of want White Orchid Phantom. But not really. I think this is not a 4-more matchup, especially against a bunch of main deck United Curators. Potentially endurances and stuff. I almost don't even want Sash. Sash is okay at... You can't really fight with Keened Curator given they're a Gaia's Cradle deck. You can try to keep Reclaimers and Whites down, but usually you just want to kill them instead. Probably Shave. Although, like, Overlord Wisp is, or, like, Felia Overlord is, like, one of the most powerful things you can be doing in this matchup. But what else do we cut? So 3 cuts? Jesus. Maybe just cut like a Stoneforge. Stoneforge is not that exciting in this matchup. I don't even know what our last cut is here. It is just the Wisps. Weird matchup. I have not played against Cradle with like a sideboard like this. I usually don't have like a bunch of Grafdigger's Cages to board in. Makes the last couple of cuts a little bit awkward. This hand is definitely good. It's a Mold of 6. It's actually not even, like, necessarily a Mold of 6. We have the Stoneforge. But, like, Thoughtseize into Felia to Overlord is going to be nuts. Hopefully, at least. Scrub land. Thoughtseize you. 4 more looks better post board, even versus the Curator builds. What would you have cut instead, though? I was, like, struggling to have cuts because I think, like, all the cards in our deck were so good. I'd probably shave on Felios because I'm me. I mean, the Felia, without Felia in our, I guess, even with, like, I feel fairly incentivized to just take this Snuff out. And just, they play Ignoble, and then we untap, and then we just, like, body them. We do have to then attack the Felia into what is at least a 3/3 Scythecat Cub, presumably. Which does kind of suck. We could also just Overlord hit, like, a Solitude or something. It is kind of scary leaving Natural Order in their hand, so, like, we could just bait the Snuff out, take the Natural Order, play, like, Stoneforge Mystic. Kitty, go away. Or maybe we just, like, want the Felia to get Snuff outed. Maybe the Felia is bad here, because it doesn't attack very well. Maybe Felia is worse than Flicker Wisp. Plays worse against Snuff outs. I'm going to take this Natural Order, I think. Maybe I'm supposed to trim on Felias and keep in Wisps. Because of Felia's ability to attack in this matchup. Forest Ignoble. Draw Bowmaster. Oh, that's nice. Well, that makes my Felia plan much, much better, because if... Oh, I guess we'd have to draw third land. The baiting plan kind of... I kind of hate the baiting plan is the issue. Because, like, then the Stoneforge just, like, strands two, like, completely uncastable dog shit cards in our hand, and then if we overload back the Stoneforge, it's Squire. So what happens here if we Felia? They're going to cast Scythecat Cub, play the Bayou, put the counter on the Cub, and then have Snuff Out up. They're going to snuff out my Stoneforge Mystic to protect their Scythecat Cub from the Phantom Blade. I'm going to untap. I'm going to then set up the Felia. I guess that's kind of fine, honestly. Especially if we draw a land. If we draw a third land, then we're ecstatic. Or we, like, Overlord into Solitude or something. My kingdom for a MDFC that's just a fucking garbage equipment on one side and a land on the other. I just want my Stoneforges to be able to do everything. Is that so much to ask for? Cloud Tutor for land, exactly. Okay, never mind. We found the land. That's great. Let's kill it. It is really funny that Null Rod has gone from, like, a pretty potent anti-D&T card to, like, now it turns off exactly 4 Aether Vials, and I guess the ability to activate the equip cost on these two equipment that are useless except for their ETBs. Used to hose like, oh, I can't equip my GT anymore. How am I supposed to beat elves? When they pithing needle my GT. Alright, so now we probably take over this game pretty hard. Especially if we find Solitude and just start getting to, like, machine gun stuff. Hey, look at that. That's the thing that I wanted. Can I pay for my spells, please, Moto? This lag's going crazy. Well, good thing we had that Stoneforge killed. Am I supposed to Solitude these mana dorks? I don't think so. They can't even hoof me. Presumably. I'm absolutely okay with this block. It doesn't matter. My creature's coming back and just can start attacking every turn. I don't need to flicker it. I don't need to, like, use Solitude to save this. I'm just gonna take the trade, reduce their board size. I can even just get back. This guarantees that my thing can't miss. I could get back the Felia, worst case. No, we were getting back. Ooh. Bowmaster is mighty tempting. I think we're just gonna get back to Skyclave, so I have more ability to kill things that matter. I don't think I'm solituding any of these. I can't cut them off of Veneno anyway. Deal. Alright, my opponent has a lot of mana. And is probably dead. Fourth land is nice. Means we could just double spell this turn if we wanted. Like Felia plus... We could like Solitude this, pitch Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, no, we can't do Felia and Bowmaster because we only get the one attack. We'd have to Stoneforge. We'd have to Squire plus Bowmaster or Felia and then pitch the Skyclave. Then we get back the Solitude, so it's not really the end of the world. What am I trying to not lose to here? I think all roads lead to Rome, I'm gonna be honest. Debating if I want to Solitude one of these things and then get back the Solitude, but probably not. Probably just gonna grab like Bowmaster. Play my land, tapped. Just get to like the hard cast Phantom Blade stage of this game. Well, could they hardcast an Atraxa? Should I have like done math for that? Fuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Killing one of these things, take them off too. Oh, do they actually just top deck? I know. Alright. There's a game to be had. I think we're still pretty ahead. Let's see how good their Atraxa is. They had a Sylvan Safekeeper, which is good. They also hit Talon Gates. This is bad for me. Can they, like, play land and then cast Safekeeper and then, like, instant speed Talon Gates me? No, because they have to keep Talon Gates as the land, and then they can't have a fifth mana any other way. Alright, we're fine. They can't snuff out my Overlord. They can get, like, Safekeeper plus Green Sun for a thing, which does get kind of scary, but I think it might be a little bit too late for that. We do lose our ability to put these guys into play very easily. What they get? Green Sun, Misty, Safekeeper, Snuff Out. Sylvan Safekeeper. Green Sun first is a little weird, but I'm gonna Solitude the Atraxa in response just in case. I don't really want to like take the bait and like they get a second Safekeeper off the Green Sun, or maybe they're realizing that this order is wrong and they want to Safekeeper first. Yeah. Green Sun for white. White is a 5/5. They can trade with my Overlord if they want to. Although I can just attack and pick up Solitude. I mean, all it does is target the Safekeeper. I could, like, cast Phantom Blade to give my white, give my Overlord Menace. They could just, like, snuff out the Skyclave and double block it. But all this still kills the white, which is good for me. I don't think they're going to block this turn. Because if they lose the white, they just don't have anything. If that's the case, then I think I just want to attack to see what my options are first. And then go from there, depending on what I hit. It might just be like get back Felia and have like a Felia plus Bowmaster turn. Although, hang on, they can use the Safekeeper proactively to make this white bigger and kill my Overlord. Is there a world that we don't attack? We put Yorion in our hand and Bowmaster. Yeah, if they just like fetch and sack a land, they have plenty of lands to protect still, and then this white's just a 6/6 and it just eats the Overlord. Problem is, at that point, they can just snuff out the Skyclave on the Yorion, and then they can also like white to Talon Gates my Overlord away. Like, oh, white cares about creatures. Yeah, not lands. God, I always forget how this card fucking works. Thank you. This thing's just a 4/4 and can only be a 4/4. They can fetch Dryad Arbor and sack it to make it a 5/5 exactly. Dryad Arbors are in the yard. Did they not play 2? They only play 1 nowadays? I thought they hit another Dryad Arbor off of the Atraxa. They did. But yeah, I can still attack. Might still be just pick up Yorion, though. Could Tampriest do anything? No. Not at this point. I mean, it would turn off future things, but it wouldn't turn off my Yorion. Felia could definitely help here. Turns out Dryad Arbor, yeah. I don't think that's what I'm in for. I think Felia might honestly help me. It probably just gets snuffed out, but like Felia for extra Bowmaster, or like the ability to attack and punish the Sylvan Safekeeper. Is this Felia Bowmaster? Is this Felia Yorion? Is this Yorion Bowmaster? I think I have enough things to spend my mana on that I don't necessarily need to Yorion yet. Although I guess it's getting scary with this unanswerable white, huh? I wonder if I want a Wasteland. Feels like the answer is no. I think I want to Bowmaster the Safekeeper this turn. Yeah, they just have way too much mana. Sphelia is just gonna get snuffed out. Which is not exciting. They have to draw pretty well here. Yeah, it's not drawing super well. It is attacking for a lot, notably. I will chump block. Cast stuff out, sure. So now they're representing 6/6 white if they fetch Dried Arbor, sack into Safekeeper, and activate the white. Which is spooky. But we could also have 6/6 Overlord if we want to. Although that gets us further away. The Snuff Out's gone. The awkward thing about all I did with what I did with my mana last turn is that this turn is like Yorion plus nothing. If I attack with the Overlord and it just dies, can I get anything back that matters enough that's worth sacrificing the Yorion? They have to lose this land because it's Dried Arbor, but then they get back a new land because they sack a creature, make it a 6/6. If I could threaten, like, Stoneforge Sash activate here, it would actually be nuts. Maybe I did misboard. I feel like I'm not really allowed to attack. What am I doing when this thing attacks, though? This thing's gonna activate too and phase out my Overlord and shit. Still equips, right? Because it targets my thing too. I want a 2-drop, so I just want Bowmaster, I think, to keep shooting the Safekeeper and like make a bunch of generate blockers for the white. So I can, like, Bowmaster plus Yorion. Man, I really thought I had this game wrapped up, and then this white really threw a bunch of shit in the... Or the Safekeeper. Safekeeper is, like, really, really good against DNT. You really want to find, like, your Wrath of the Skies and Disruptor Flutes for it. Cards that Overlord can't find. I think we are grabbing Bowmaster. I guess it doesn't also generate blockers because of how Shroud works, but it's the cheapest way to, like, continue to make them sack lands and bug them. Think it's going to be better than Stoneforge. Stoneforge could get this Cauldron in play to, like, help deal with the white. We are also in, like, a little bit of a damage race. They have a bunch of chump blockers. It's likely not gonna matter, but... It's not great for me. I always forget about the layer of the Hydra. Are we dead? Are we dead to phase out my Skyclave? Attack for, like, lethal? I'm not gonna do math. Very well might be. It's a lot of, damage. 8, 7, 7, 20. Is it exact lethal? Oh no, it's 1+1. Yeah, it's 1 above lethal because this will go to 6/6 when it attacks. Whoops. I played this game really badly, I think. Also, I think I mostly, like, a combination of, like, misboarding. I don't know how many of our decisions were bad. But I think I misboarded pretty heavily. The Safekeeper card is also very good. confident in like, how you're supposed to sideboard in this matchup. I think shaving the Felias is correct, because Felia does get really awkward in terms of attacking, and you'd rather just have, like, Flicker Wisps. Like, if we had a Flicker Wisp in our yard, and we didn't have to, like, play the Felia out and attack with it, and then get it snuff outed, and, like, bait the snuff out with the Stoneforge and stuff, if you just have, like, Overlord Flicker Wisp, and it's much harder to interact with removal spells, I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think you do want Sash. Maybe it's confirmation bias of how that game played out specifically. Because it's not like we actually lost to White of the Reliquary being big, right? We lost to Sylvan Safekeeper, which is not a card that Lion Sash actually helps out that much with. Hard to figure out if... I don't feel like we fumbled in how the actual game played out versus how we sideboarded, I think. There was the turn that we, like, kind of had an awkward ability to use our mana. On the turn where I, like, double two'd, I maybe should have, like, single two'd. Plus played Yorion. Or plus added Yorion to hand. At some point I was supposed to, like, switch onto the defensive, but... Tough to say. Not a matchup that I, like, have a bunch of confidence with. It's just not a matchup that you see out in the Moto trenches enough. This one to jump scare me. Two people in it, it's not happening. Don't want it to, like, jump scare me mid-game. Alright, how did we sideboard? These all made sense. What if we just full cut Felias? Does that look better? I think 4 more is awkward. Maybe 4 more is the 8th card we leave in Sash. 4 more lines up nicely against Snuff Out, but also if we're boarding out all the Felias, there's not a lot of, like, good Snuff Out targets. It's like exactly Stoneforge Mystic. So maybe if we board like that, we're happier. You just have, like, Flicker Wisp Overlord as your kill condition, and, like, Stoneforge Cauldron. Maybe it's like Sash as the last cut. I was talking about confirmation bias of, like, Sash being really good specifically in that game, but in general I don't think Sash is where you want to be necessarily. I heard the league start sound. I don't know what's happening with Moto today. I heard the match start sound, and I clicked back over here, and my match is certainly not started yet. Very baffling. Oh, league matchmaking failed. Sure. Thank you. I think this hand sucks. I think this hand is much better. Kind of just don't want this White Orchid Phantom, huh? This card just kind of sucks all the time. I mean, it's like randomly good in some matchups, but I don't think you're allowed to keep it because I think in a lot of matchups it's not good. It is like the kind of definitionally tutor bullet. You just D&T to rather have a bunch of land. Playing Laron on that slot. I feel like, yeah, you could play like Laron, third Thalia. Probably just play like third Thalia without thinking about it too much. Do they shuffle? No. I mean, we just have like things to do. Land drops to hit. I'm happy Thoughtseizing here. Do we have giveaway day? Yep. Giveaway, I don't know, this round, next round, something like that. I'll take this Beanstalk. Seems pretty good. The only card in their hand that accrues value. We can Bowmaster, it'll Eldrazi spawn. They sack a response. We don't get our guy, but we clean up the Eldrazi spawn at least. Yeah, get this fucking Beanstalk out of here. Wasteland did kind of kill. I mean, but they kept on the Ponder. They could easily just have another blue land on top for all we know, right? What they take? They took Beanstalk. Makes sense. Milton Uro 2, Combo City. Man, this Beanstalk's gonna be kind of brutal, huh? I think it's fine jamming Bowmasters, though. Means that if they cast Beanstalk, we at least get some value and stuff. You remember the times people used to make the pre-war tutor for war jokes? Now I can't believe the deck was playable before that. Form War is so good, man. It's unbelievable how nasty that card is. Yeah, so this at least, like, forces the force pre-Beanstalk, which is really good for us as well. Next turn we could potentially, like, Wasteland plus Overlord the Bowmaster back or something. They pitch Brainstorm. Good call. I guess the Drowsy spawn probably doesn't get that much value. Definitely want to like keep them off of Uro while our hand is terrible. So especially finding double second Wasteland, pretty happy just to shoot this. Don't float mana. Don't be that guy. It doesn't matter. It never matters. I can always go to main 2. I'm not going to cast a haste creature. Get Yoshiwara on stream for the State of the Noodle. That would be fun. I wish, but unfortunately, I do not speak Japanese. Pointless mana floaters, right? God, I mean, we have second Wasteland. Is it too greedy to get the Bowmaster here instead of the Solitude as like a preemptive Uro answer? So many Uro answers in the deck, and we have another Wasteland to like delay things, and like I really don't want to pitch Solitude the Uro. We'll be fine. Don't worry. Volcanic. Ooh. All right. Yeah, but it's not that far away, but it is like fairly far away. So this is in cast Endurance. Kind of want to Wasteland. So it's probably just like maybe a Singleton 4 Therolingus and like Leyline Binding. But this is like, I guess this is like second green source for Uro potentially, which maybe matters more. Kind of sucks that... Maybe this is actually an Aether Vial turn, huh? We don't necessarily need to pull the Bowmasters this turn. This game is definitely going to take long enough where this Aether Vial is going to get online. I think I'm going to Wasteland this Hedge Maze. They probably Endurance me. Yeah. No land. Brainstorm probably means land. Hey, Jowager? Thanks for the sub. Much appreciated. Can stick me to 3-4? We'll find out. There's our very not exciting Uro answer, I guess. I've done it before. I've won plenty of games where I have had to Crocus and Uro multiple times. I'm not enthused, but I will do it if I have to. Debating on if I want to cast my Bowmaster in response to an Uro if it happens. My part to make sure Bezos has $5 appreciated. No land. They didn't fetch, and also they didn't like shuffle off the Brainstorm, but also didn't hit their 4th land. Is interesting to me. Let us surveil. All right, we take those. Say goodbye to your land. No lands for you, OP. I'll pick up this Yorion. If they don't fetch, which I assume they won't in the face of this Wasteland, we will simply Wasteland their Volcanic Island in their upkeep. They know I have this Bowmaster, so there's a distinct possibility I should just put in this Bowmaster right now. We beat 3/4 and 8 mana 4/5. Or we beat it with the 5/5 we're going to get next turn. We got options. Do I block? I vaguely want to block with a Bowmaster token. Chide the Magellan offloading the mana. Ding. Thanks, Eric. Thanks for that one. Wait, no, this is the one this is the one we scratched at the top? Shit. Wait. No, yeah, one of them got shuffled away. This is the 4th Wasteland, right? Well, one of them got shuffled in, so this could be the 3rd Wasteland again. Plow the Bowmaster. You got it. We did shuffle. I'm losing track of when things happen to this game. 4th Wasteland of the game, yes. Okay, I looked at my graveyard and I only saw 3 Wastelands. I was like, wait, is this the one I just put on the top of my deck? But no, it wasn't. Going all the way up. Ooh, don't mind if I do. Oh god, so many good choices. My opponent has 3 cards in hand. I have infinity options. Yeah, let's just get Recruiter of the Guard. Fifth Wasteland. Fifth Wasteland is gonna be so funny when it happens. Shoot your thing. Cast this thing. Force a will it. I don't give a crap. I don't even know. I don't know what we're getting. We're in garbage time. We get the White Orchid Phantom. How many basics they got over there? No, I don't really want to give him a white man, honestly. Stoneforge, I guess. I don't know. I've decked my opponent because I've Crocus their Uro enough. I've also done that, yeah. Alright. Versus just looked like some pretty regular 4-color, 5-color beanstalk stuff. I don't really think I want any of these cards. I mean, this Phantom Blade's kind of awful. Can I convince myself that, like, something's good here? Pathing Uro, Disruptor Flute on cards. Wrath of the Skies, they're up the beanstalks. This White Orchid Phantom's also pretty bad. I feel like I'm just hitting submit, and I just have a kind of bad card in my deck. We don't know what's in their deck. They could have, they could have anything. 4-color, 5-color beanstalk deck, it's possible to predict how many times they're gonna, like, have Triumph of St. Catherine or whatever. Wrath answers 4th tokens. That is valid. You can blow up 4th tokens. X equals 2 blowing up beanstalk. I can't imagine it comes up a lot unless you're, like, really behind on board, which is not thrilling, but I could see that. I could see that, even. Yeah, we'll even the Phantom. We gotta give Phantom his due diligence. I think Phantom sucks, is my beef with, like, every time I put this card in this deck. It's just not good against anything. What do you think, chat? Are we feeling lucky? We have our Wasteland. How can we lose? Surely this won't go badly. We should mulligan, huh? Draw Swamp or 3 Wastelands. All I'm saying. Well, let's mulligan. Alright. This hand's probably a little bit better, huh? Let's bottom Solitude. No, our Wasteland! What if they Ponder Shuffle? I'm gonna be so upset that I just mulligan in my Wasteland. They're thinking. Okay, they didn't shuffle. Never mind. Wasteland unplayable. Backstreet. Got a lot of 2s. I don't think this one's very good. We're gonna cast a lot of 2s. We're gonna want to hit a lot of land drops. We could potentially, like, bin this to cash in a Formal Wear. I think Thalia is just not gonna make the cut. Especially on the draw. What do we do here? Opponent has a bunch of mana up, so I'm not very keen on casting a spell. I think I'm just gonna hold up Bowmaster / Felia. Don't really care if the Felia dies that much. Can you imagine if D&T could play only good cards? Yeah, Society F, huh? Alright, well, best case we get him. Worst case we get forced, or we force the shuffle before the Brainstorm resolves. Seems like we're gonna get Source of Plowshares, but yeah. Fine by me. Makes the Brainstorm a little bit worse. We get a little guy value out of it. Ponder Shuffle, no land drop. Easy. Slam dunk. Guaranteed. Dang. We tried. Nothing particularly sashable over there, as much as this is kind of an awkward mana usage turn. 5 cards in hand. Not very keen on Cauldron checking here. They also have white, like, they have mana up again, so I think I'm pretty okay just sitting back and casting Felia into a plow. Do they ever have cheeky Murktide? It's impossible to know with these decks. 5-color Beanstalk decks, they can just play whatever they want. Triumph of St. Catherine, Murktide Regent, Orcish Bowmaster. They could have any and everything. Dog time. Oh, these are not the draws that we really want, huh? I think we should get 4 more with this Mystic. Provide some value. We already have the Thalia sitting there. Alright, well, I guess we don't get 4 more with this Mystic. I'm content sending. If they have Endurance, we have Sword Splashers. I will not flicker my Orc Army token. As tempting as it may be. Ooh, actually Endurance? That's great for me. Oh, this is just like Leyline Binding. Sure. Fucked up that Felia doesn't get pumped with nothing to flicker? Yeah, real. Felia should just get bigger every turn. Just, you know, that's just how dogs work. Alright, looking like it's Lion Sash. Looking like it's... Is it Flicker Wisp time? They have 2 cards in hand. They have Hardcast Force of Will here. Flicker Wisp just flickers Backstreet for mild card quality improvement. The likelihood of them just hardcasting Force of Will feels fairly high to me. Which of these is the better prize? I think the Flicker Wisp sucks. I think the Sash is better to stick around, answer an Uro or something. Good old 3-1 flyer, Surveil 1. Ooh, that's a good one. Fuck yes, mild value. That's the deity motto, baby. Alright, we need to kill my opponent before they draw like 4th Aerlingus, huh? I'm wondering if they have Force Will in their hand. There was like a brief pause on the Flicker Wisp. Guess we'll find out, because I'm pretty priced into casting this Stoneforge Mystic. Endurance? Oh. This Orc Army gonna go the distance, baby. Go get him, Stoneforge. You'll certainly resolve. I believe in you. Holy shit, it worked. Formal Air gets second Stoneforge, gets Cauldron, and then we have 2 Stoneforges for the Cauldron. Easy. Blue, Murktide Regent. Yes. We love to see Murktide Regent here. Let's go. That card does nothing. My hand is all removal spells. Get that shit out of here. I guess I can attack both, huh? They only have 1 card in hand. It can't be Hardcast Force of Will. I'm not really gonna double spell. Like, I could, like, cast Sash plus activate, put in Formal Wear. Let's get back this other Stoneforge. Zork Army's so tired. Zork Army's dealt so much fucking damage. Attacked every turn since, like, he's attacked for like 4 or 5 consecutive turns. Fucking champ. Uro. Well, I guess all Sword Splashers this, huh? Have them gain 1 trillion more life. Oh, wait, hang on. Man, I don't really want to eat this unless I draw 5th land, though. But I also don't want to give them 6 life. They have to hit exactly another fetch land to punish me. Because it's escape 5. I don't even know how much of a punish it would really even be. Yeah, fuck it. Oh, the way they stacked, I can wait for them to do that trigger first. Wait, have they played a land this turn? They haven't, right? Yeah, fuck it. I don't know. Easy. They never had it. We'll just draw the 5th land, too. Just get to do everything. Oh, dang it. Alright, fine. No Cauldron. I'm gonna fetch the swamp here. It's worse for the sash, but it's better if I like draw plains or a wasteland or something, and want to cast a Overlord. Sword of the Animist on Cloud could be an option. I think that I'm very much of the opinion that you should not fall into pitfalls of playing bad cards for Cloud synergies. I guess I should do this after draw step so we don't get like randomly Terminus or something, huh? Gimme. Not randomly Terminus, nice. Three, 6, 7, 12 damage showing. It's kind of a lot. I guess more, because the sash can eat more stuff, too. My sash! Get that plow out of here. What's happening? Oh, they're gonna Mystic Sanction back to the top of the deck. No, they're not. They're gonna surveil. Fifth land right on time. Hey, we play things with 3 mana this turn. You don't know. Put this Yorion in my hand. My Cauldron, no! Man, these bindings are way less scary when my opponent doesn't have up the Beanstalk. I don't have any more equipment to get, right? This Yorion just, like, gets back Athalia. Maybe I should have recruited for, a Witch Enchanter or something. 3, 4, 5, they're 6. I can just recruit her for a Bowmaster, huh? Oh, shoot. I missed a damage. Oh, well. It's Xaxes, hopefully. Oh, damn it. They have, like, Endurance. God. I mean, it wouldn't have been lethal anyway. Maybe we recruit for something else now. No, my Thalia. How am I going to get that back with the Formal War now? Rude as fuck. Get that shit out of here. Recruiter of the Guard for... I guess now we get the Witch Enchanter to set up lethal. If they, like, Wrath me, we can Witch Enchanter to get back the Cauldron for lethal. Yeah, fuck it. That's probably not gonna do it, huh? Murktide Regent. That's definitely not gonna do it as your last card. 3/3 Murktide Regent. Tick up. Let's not make the classic Harain mistake. Cast Witch Enchanter. For those of you that don't know, there was a really funny clip from, I think it was like a couple of days ago, where Harain floats 4 mana and then clicks on his Odawara and plays it as a land. Formaware, Jite, Cauldron, Sash. Yeah, I mean, I think you probably, in like a build that you're trying with like a 4 Stoneforge, 4 Cloud or something, I think you probably want some sort of value equipment, whether that's the Aether Spark or Sword of Fire and Ice or Buster Sword. You probably want some sort of like value generation card. There's also a possibility that you want a card that costs 3 mana to play and equip and works well with Cloud. Feels really niche, but you could like try a Pip-Boy, specifically because it like fits in on the mana curve of like Cloud into like thing that you can equip to Cloud and is fairly threatening in terms of like the Rummage or like the double triggers on Rummage, or just like get more counters, attack with your, what is it, 4/3 on first attack, or whatever the third ability, untap your lands, so it's like almost free. Pip-Boy untaps 2 lands, maybe? Is it, are you net mana on that stage? I'm gonna be brewing, I don't know at what point, or if I'm even gonna do it on stream or not, but I will be cooking up, I'll be trying to like make a mono white like 8 Stoneforge list. It's probably gonna be a little bit unorthodox because it's probably gonna have like Chrome Moxes and stuff, but equipment that tap into like the Citizen's Crowbar or whatever. I did look at that very briefly and like scratched my chin. And I was like, you could. It's not bad. Well, I mean, it's kind of bad, but it's within the realm of possibility. Disenchants are fairly good, even though it's like a pretty inefficient disenchant. The more things that you can make your Stoneforge do, the better that they are, which is why cards like Phantom Blade and Chainsaw are so powerful. And why I'm so mad about Lionheart being a shock instead of a Lightning Bolt. I think 4-mana Lightning Bolt would still have been pretty bad, but like, come on. You could have given it to us. How good would it card have been at 3 damage? We'll do one more, I mean, we'll finish the league, obviously, but we'll do the giveaway after next round, I think. When does Final Fantasy come out? It's like the 14th of June or something. Maybe in like 2 weeks then, 2 or 3 weeks. We'll do a. Do people enjoy like the more deck building, like deck theory focused streams rather than like me mindlessly jamming leagues? I feel like I have more fun doing them, but they also like get less people for obvious reasons. People want to like zone out and enjoy some Magic content, not always are in it for like the theory portion, but. This hand's like okay. It's like a pretty solid 6. We can fetch basics if we want as well. Do prefer the deck building streams, but I do not catch every stream. Makes sense. I do like sitting back and doing a little bit of theory crafting, do some like honest thinking about stuff, and not just like mindlessly jamming. Like, there are only so many days I could sit down on a Tuesday night and just be like, let's play, you know, the 185th league with Death and Taxes. So it's good to, you know, shake it up a little bit. So maybe we'll do a little Bruin stream. I hate it when you're when you're having fun. True and valid. Sees your thoughts. Oh. Come on. I mean, I guess we take a Lion's Eye Diamond, give them a little bit less mana. This is really our night, huh? This is our night in a nutshell. We won our last match, but, yeah. Good news, it's test, so there's a pretty good chance they just wheel, do nothing, and then then they wheel me into Thalia. Deal. -1 mana. Well, they didn't wheel me into the Thalia. His hand kind of blows. Nope, stop casting spells. Just pass the turn. Would really appreciate it if you just said go. Yeah, at least Yoshiwada's sideboard is fucking stacked for this matchup. I never respect Storm, but Yoshiwada's got like, oh, yeah, fucking deal. Sand sucks. Yoshiwada's got like 3 Deafening Silence and a Mindbreak Trap, 2 Grafdigger's Cages. Just like fucking deck to the gills. You got it. You got it, OP. Thalia, bang. Well, we tried. Thalia, bang. Well, you tried. I feel like I honestly might have just taken a Recruiter of the card over the Thalia. Ooh, we going gambling or echoing again? Makes sense. You take the 2-drop if you're just not gonna let me cast any of the spells in my hand. Almost wish I had fetched like a white source so I could like pitch Solitude and cast Plow on it to slightly improve the card quality of the remainder of my hand, or like the possible 7th that I could draw. Maybe they'll just like discard the LED on the 1 in 6 gamble. But I guess when we were on the play, we didn't know when we were fetching. We could have potentially played the Mace out to hold up fetch Shadowy Backstreet instead, but that puts us at a slightly lower Tendrils multiple. Discard Commercial District. I can't imagine that's what they tutored for. Gambling for both halves, but then they would have just played out the LED. They discarded the LED. Deal. What happened? What just happened? They gamble for the Echo first? Well, fuck. I mean, I'm just gonna recruit Thalia and hope for the best, like... Please, no kill. Nice, no kill. Nice, good draws. Wasteland them off blue. Get that shit out of here. Deal. not nice. These draws are pretty terrible. Send it. We can't fetch Surveil Land anymore because we had to surveil our Surveil Land away. We can add Yorion to our hand and cast that next turn, recruit maybe the White Orchid Phantom or something. Attack for 3, put them to 9, and we'll have 7 in play. Attack for 3, put them to 8, and we'll have 7 in play, so I guess we just recruit Bowmasters at that point. Get Grapes, perhaps? Beseech. Scary. Let's fetch. Draw like Skyclave, Witch Enchanter. White Orchid Phantom. So this doesn't set up lethal like Yorion would, but it does set them back on mana, which feels like it's pretty important here. Tutoring Beseech makes me feel like they're trying to kill me. And then if we like White Orchid Phantom blow up a land, we buy ourselves a turn, we Yorion the White Orchid Phantom blow up another land. Seems pretty good for us. I too am a Thalia enjoyer these days. Yeah, Thalia definitely has improved in card quality in the current meta. Really wish there was like... I mean, I do love playing Thalia, but I really wish there was like a Hay Bear that I was excited to play in 2025, though, rather than just like, I guess this is the best one. Alright, we took game 1. Pretty huge. We need to board in a shit pile of stuff. Cut all these Solitudes and Plows that we drew. Like a Felia, I guess? Maybe an Overlord? Felia attacks, Overlord digs us for more stuff that matters. Most of the stuff that matters, though, is boarding in like 10 non-creatures. I don't hate cutting an Overlord. Felia attacks can potentially like flicker Chrome Moxes. Can flicker our singleton White Orchid Phantom. No mom, no Roker in D&D anymore. Take me back. True. Alright, well... if we lose, I'm gonna be a little bummed. This hand is pretty stacked. This hand's definitely upper percentile. Alright. LED Echo. Yep, good. Crack it. Crack it. You know you want to. You know you're thinking about it. What are the odds I have Mindbreak Trap, opponent? 0%, some would say. in before Thoughtseize wheel me into a bunch of unplayables. I feel like they would not have sequenced this way if their plan was to cast Thoughtseize. Yes! Yes! Get that shit out of here. They could have actually just went, like, land LED Echo to play around Mindbreak Trap and just -1 mana. Well, bad news, these Thoughtseizes aren't very good. Good news is I think my opponent's fucking dead. Wrath the Lotus Petal. Oh, I guess now I'm gonna blow up my own Orc army if I want to kill their petal. Dang, maybe I should have Wrathed first, huh? I just want to attack them a bunch. We can even, like, Thoughtseize them next turn. Now that they have cards in hand. Hey, that one's not allowed. What if I Thoughtseize and their card is Echo the Aeons? I think we would still win, given our Orcish Bowmaster in play, I guess. And our Deafening Silence in play. What you got? Done. You don't want to cast that? You don't want to... I guess into the Orcish Bowmaster, maybe you don't want to go get Echo, huh? Let's just Surveil. I guess I couldn't actually cast any of these other spells, given my Deafening Silence. Backstreet. Get out of here. Oh, I should have... I think I'm going to Thoughtseize them again, so I should have not played my fetch land. Yeah, I don't need to Thoughtseize them. Good thing I didn't Thoughtseize. Surveil into something sick. Yeah, buddy. Let's send him to the Stone Age. Blow up your land. Wrath your Lotus Petal. I guess I don't have to overpay, huh? I guess I could have Thoughtseize, huh? Whatever. I respect my opponent's willingness to play this out. Good sport. Come on, don't concede. Perfect victory. Oh no, they have 2 cards in hand? Can't have the perfect victory? Oh. I shouldn't have Thoughtseized. I should have just put all their permanents out of play. Alright, feeling a little bit better after after that game 1, turn 1 Thoughtseize until you get to Echo anyway. Let's do the giveaway, huh? Jesus Christ, that hand. That hand, huh? Alright, what's the giveaway code? Giveaway. Giving away 120 play points. Let's do Mindbreak Trap, because Mindbreak Trap's the card Give away MBT. I'll not do it in all caps. Just I think it's not case sensitive, but type MBT, all one word, in chat. All one sequence, I guess. Not really a word, but get your chance at 120 play points, courtesy of Daybreak Games. I'm gonna run to the bathroom before we finish up this league. Play out our last match. Give away some play points to somebody. Alright, we're back. Play some more Magic. Close out the stream. Fairly quick one today, huh? We got slaughtered. We slaughtered Beans, then we slaughtered Tess. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. We played a minimum amount of matches for 4 rounds. Not even 10 o'clock. Get your MBTs in. I'll wait until round or game 1, or I'll forget and I'll end it at the end of the match. Who knows? We get to start one more, and probably not. I'd like to go to bed. My days are long at work this week. I have PI planning. Shout out to those of you in software dev fields out there who know the agile system. I hate PI planning week. Skip it. I'm the scrum master for my team. I'm not allowed to skip it. God, it's tough though. Because I'm waiting to hear back from an interview that I had for a different job. So it's really tough to stay motivated, like planning the next couple of months when I could hear back any day and be like, "Hey, you're moving to Seattle in like a few months," and I just like drop everything. So I am struggling to stay motivated. What's PI planning out of what master? It's just a bunch of like bullshit software dev buzzwords, like all about like corporate efficiency bullshit. Be happier that you don't know what it is. Yes, I am an electrical engineer. Alright. Hand is something. Hopefully these thought seizes and plows are good. When it says, "Yeah, bruh, I'm going to bed." Fair enough. I'll respect it. I respect that. I've been there before. I'm not subjecting myself to this. Completely valid. Have a nice night. Swagahod MTG. Whatever makes the shareholder happy. Yeah, exactly. That's what I do. How many story points will the project take? Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is. You got it. It's literally that story points are the agile system. All right, well, any last type MBT in chat? You get a chance at 120 play points. I feel like we should do something at the end here. Do we start? I don't want to start brewing with Cloud yet. The set's not even finished spoiling yet. That match was a half pointer for sure. Was playing Rug Delver, no chance. Yeah, get your chance at your play points while you're here, I suppose. Refund for your league. Now we have to do one more? Oh no. Chat, you're not gonna convince me. I'm never finishing this league. I just don't have the time in my day to to play enough Magic off stream. I'm gonna come back like one match in next week. I've broken through the Agile Gauntlet. My mind is broken. Yeah. Alright, let's wrap up the giveaway here. Winner is Mangork. Didn't you win last week? When after I cheated Toast out of one? I feel like it's only fair that we redo it if this is the case. Mangork, you did win last week. You gave it to someone else? Alright, fair enough. I'll take you at your word. Wait, hang on. Was that someone else Toast? Yes. Important note of clarity. You didn't just give it to Toast. Oh, I did, comma, give it to someone else. Fair enough. Gotcha. Alright. Understandable. Alright, let's run it back one more time. Alright, there we go. This is karmic justice. This is not payment for services rendered. This is not paid actors. Swagahot earned this one. Alright. Enjoy your playpoint code. How do you redeem? You should be able to go into the store and there's like a redeem button. Yeah, enter promo code, redeem. MTG Boss has been incredibly blessed this week at last. Yeah, really. I cheated Toast out of it, then Mangor got it, and then Mangor got it again, so then it passed. It did the cascade. The ripple effects have been crazy. Paid gifters. Alright, chat. What do we run it back for like one more match? You also cheated Toast out of it? Alright. Have a nice night. To redeem, just copy the code into chat. You timed him out. Oh, yeah. So he couldn't... Yeah, okay. This all makes sense. So I guess maybe we'll just decompress here. Maybe we'll maybe play one more match. I'm gonna like at least take a minute to talk about. I guess we only really played 4 matches, right? We died to Sneak and Show, died to Newton Cradle, and then we beat Tess. I mean, if you're not beating Tess, something's going wrong with your sideboard here. But and then we beat Beans, which makes sense with just like infinite value. Yeah, I can't say that, like, whenever I play a classic Yoshiwara list, I'm not, like, immediately leaning towards my preconceived notions about D&T and, like, cards that I like and don't like. It's hard for me to, like, be objective about the analysis on things. Like, White Orchid showed up versus the combo deck, right? Sometimes you get to, like, White Orchid, blow up the Test opponent, or blow up, like, your Oops opponent's lands and stuff like that. But, like, every time we had White Orchid versus a combo deck, you'd almost always rather have Thalia. We drew the White Orchid for Sneak and Show, notably, when it was like, would have been much better as a Thalia. I would have played Petal, 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 Sneak Attack. I do think that the White Orchid as a tutor target just like does not come up enough to be relevant, and you just would rather have a Thalia or something. And as for the sideboard, I think there's not a lot to actually to talk about pretty legitimately. I do think that the Path to Exile is smart, because the problem that I had playing Overlord is that the tempo deck, specifically like Blue-Red Delver, had a tendency to run you over a little bit without a critical mass of early game removal, so just having like a little bit of extra insurance versus the Delver decks is nice. So I think these cards feel very good, and then these cards are just like, you just want to play a bunch of anti-combo cards. Whether that is you just chunk 4 of these cards out for ley lines and call it a day. You could just do like this and just play ley lines and just make your blue-black reanimator matchup worse, and your like various greens and zenith matchups worse, and make your oops matchup a decent amount better. But then at that point, you don't really want to be on 4 Leyline, 3 Deafening Silence against the 4 Severe deck. You could just be like 4 Leyline, 4 Trap, but that seems like kind of insane. But like, I do think Trap is probably the second best sideboard card you can play against Oops all spells. It's not good, but it's better than Fairy Macabre. Or like Deafening Silence when you have ley lines in your deck. It helps against the Belcher plan a decent amount of the time. Although they are like a 8 Spirit Guide deck. They can just go like land Darker Spirit Guide, cast my 4-drop a lot. Which at least when you have Mind Ray Trap, you can sometimes snipe the Dread Return or something. And then die to the Memory's Journey plus Poxwalker Beatdown. I don't know. I think I'd have to play more with this, with back playing with Overlord taxes to get a good grasp on how I want the sideboard to look. I do have to respect, I think his deck looks really good against a lot of the format that isn't specifically Oops all spells. I think you have a lot of good matchups right now. Man, just sucks that not, like, just there isn't actually any playable Oops hate besides Leyline of the Void. That deck dodges a completely unreasonable amount of hate cards. Oh, only 6 more weeks, yeah. Alright, well, it's 10 o'clock. We'll play like 1 round. What if we never phase Oops? Then you win a lot. What's happening? Then you're just Yoshiwada. And you just crush your opponents. We're facing... If my opponent casts Balustrade Spy or Undercity Informer in this game, right here, the one we're queuing up, I'm conceding the league. I'm conceding the match, dropping the league, and turning off the stream. This hand's below average, but like fine. Guaranteed to happen now. Maybe that's why I said it. So I can go to sleep. Alright, nope, we're safe. Ooh, Blue Red Delver? Sneak and Show? That's not very good against Sneak and Show. Could be Blue Red Delver. I have seen like some number of preordains in Delver lists with Cutter, but I think I'm definitely more inclined to think Sneak and Show immediately. The awkward thing is that it does kind of influence what we're going to put on the top of the shadowy back street. If I knew this were Delver, I'd put this on top. I think I'm just going to mill it. It's okay in the graveyard. Man, If this does end up being Delver, and I just like don't cast my file, then get my Stoneforge dazed, I'm gonna feel like a real dunce. Well, don't I feel like a real dunce? Could technically still be Sneak and Show. I feel like Sneak and Show lists aren't usually... Okay, Sylva Delver aren't usually playing days. At least we get to, like, play this file now on a pretty reasonable turn. Post Wasteland. Man, I almost want to slam Thalia here instead. This is, like, such a good turn for Aether Vial, though. We're ahead on lands. I might cast it next turn. Oh, never mind. So you're on 2 days or 2 Pierce. That makes some sense, yeah. Hard to gauge. Trying to think about if I like want to fetch Surveil. I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna keep this. I might want to fetch Basic Swamp. And you can have that back. I almost want to cast Thalia there, but with the Vial taking up, it's probably unwise. Dog has graced us with her presence. Getting Cuttered. Cutter, no second spells. Huge. I think I want to Surveil now, because I'm likely to want to put Yorion in my hand. Although, hang on, this is stupid, because I think I'm just going to wasteland my opponent and put Thalia into play. What the hell am I doing? Maybe this is greedy. But do you keep Thalia in the matchup now, since they have it helps turn off Cutter plus spell? If only there was some way to know how I enjoy sideboarding versus Delver with Death and Taxes. If you were subscribed to the channel, which you are, I mean, I can just answer that. It's yes. I do like Thalia much more versus Quarry Steel Cutter. But good way to plug my sideboard guide for Red, White, Death and Taxes. Available to all Twitch subs. I'm gonna cast Third Stoneforge Mystic here. We get a Wasteland then, Violent Thalia, cast Stoneforge through days, go get Formal Wear, live our great life. Kill. Vial. Thalia. Cast Stoneforge. Stoneforge for Formal Wear. Live the Dream. They go like Land Bolt Stoneforge. We could draw a land, cast Formal Wear. Otherwise, we have like we could just like recruit another Stoneforge. Yeah, they're just fucking dead. Let's go. All right. Well, that beginning of that game was a little rocky, but we got there. Get this fucking Cauldron Complete out of my deck. Get this fucking White Orchid Phantom out of my deck. Philia, maybe? Philia seems a little weak. I wonder if White Orchid Phantom is better than Philia. Probably not. They don't usually only have like the one basic island and it blocks. The deck doesn't play Delver anymore though, so he doesn't actually like block anything. Sand sucks a lot. Maybe not a lot. It's pretty bad though. Put him mold to 6 makes Thoughtseizes better, but also maybe I should have just been a little bit more disciplined. It is notable that like Witch Enchanter is a little bit more of a spell versus Delver because of the aforementioned Core Steel Cutter. Casting your 4-drop on turn 4 against the Daze deck to try to shoot their 2-drop that you don't want to leave in play for multiple turns isn't a good plan, but Delver making your deck better every set. That happens quite frequently. Delver makes decisions that makes their D&T matchup just like ever so slightly worse. Holy, this is a hand. I guess we take this Daze. We also just take a Force, but then they're just gonna Force pitch the Daze. So might as well just like be able to cast my spells on curve and have them force this like Overlord or something. Well, did they? Yeah, they did not shuffle on Ponder, so they might have kept a threat on top. Yep, but they can't double spell. Let's. Unfortunately, we currently can't bridge ourselves to 4 mana without getting wastelanded, but we can at least get one basic out. Maybe try to draw another one. Kind of disrespectful hand. I mean, they mold to 6. You probably keep like Force, Ponder, lands on 6, right? Like Force, Daze, Fetch, Ponder, Wasteland or something. Seems fine. I guess if we play Wasteland, it's less likely that we get Wastelanded and we can bridge ourselves to Witch Enchanter, huh? It's kind of tempting to wasteland their Volcanic to try to hinder them from double spelling, but I think I'm okay with them double spelling once, because we really just want to get this Witch Enchanter in play to pop the Cutter. That's pretty good for me, huh? Take a little chunk of damage here. Maybe I'm supposed to plow this monk. Probably not. Please don't draw Daze. That would be very sad. I could now play around Daze if I really wanted to, but I really do want to cash in this Witch Enchanter when it doesn't really have any other value. This Skyclave could easily just eat a DRC or something. Yep. Do I block? How do we feel about blocking? I don't love it. I think I can try to, like, make that call when I'm holding up a plow. Oh, they know I have plow now. I also wasteland them here, which is pretty nice for me. I think I do want to wasteland them. Now we have Solitude. I'm pretty sure I'm going to plow this Monk token, assuming they can double prowess it. snapping off this block. You kidding me? Well, hopefully this vial's good. Just cast a DRC. I guess that's fine. Gimme. This vial's going all the way. Ooh, alright, well, if it gets dazed, it gets dazed. I kind of want our hands all removal. Sash sucks. Formlore doesn't do anything. I guess we get Sash. Maybe I get Formal Warrior for when if they like want to bolt my Skyclave to get their 2/2. Alright, feeling pretty comfortable here. I think this game's pretty locked up. Yeah, alright. Alright, good note to end it on. A nice soul-crushing Delver matchup. Feels good to just absolutely body Delver players beyond space and time. The old bread and butter for D&T. Black cards do like anything that match. We got a Thoughtseize, which is just kind of nice. Bowmasters is like a little bit better versus Corey Steel Delver than like some of the other Delver variations because they do it just a little bit more like churn. They have preordains, they have more baubles, stuff like that. So I do think the Black Splash is maybe slightly more favored than the Red Splash versus Corey Steel Delver specifically. Because the Rebs are a little bit worse when they have really potent red threat in Corey Steel Cutter. Bowmasters gets a little bit better. Johnny's pretty decent at like coming up the ground though. Tough to say, but all in all, pretty good day. I enjoy Yoshiwata's list a lot. He's obviously a really good player. Let's just like take a quick peek before we call the stream here at like how nuts his run has been since Troll got banned like what, March? Is the conclusion that Yoshiwata is just better than us? I think Yoshiwata plays a lot of Magic. Is the thing. Yoshiwata plays a lot more than any of us. But like top 8 a challenge, top 4 a challenge, top 2 a challenge, 5-0 some leagues, top 4 a challenge, win a challenge. March 31st, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's like 5 challenge top 8s across 2 months. That's pretty nuts, but he plays a ton of challenges. Really, really good player, though. Alright, well, let's find someone to raid, huh? Who be streaming? Alright, a quick peek tells me no one's streaming besides Harain, so we'll just raid Harain like we always do. I always like to check because I don't want to just raid Harain every fucking Tuesday, but not a lot of people stream in at 10 p.m. Harain's a fucking psychopath, though, streaming constantly every day, so go show him some love. Anyway, that'll be it for me tonight. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream. We'll be back next week with Death and Taxes of some shape, form, or fashion. Who knows? We're kind of flying by the seat of our pants until we get to the Final Fantasy stream. As mentioned before, Twitch subs get access to a red white D&T sideboard guide. I'm also very keen on making a sideboard guide for Overlord D&T if that's something that people are interested in. Feel free to let me know. And that's all I got. I just have to wait these 5 seconds for this raid to kick in, and I'll see you all later.